demonstrating a move for people to practice. The puncher is being generous with a straight punch. Here's Sifu Morelli doing it from Chum Kiu Chi Sao.
Right, so the problem that I have with that technique
And here's our critic.
is there are no clear pathways for the transition in heads.
No clear pathways. No clear pathways in his Wing Chun.
And does an uppercut punch over here like this.
Notice he doesn't move his hips at all.
Comes back around again.
Notice he doesn't get behind the attacker.
To pull him into hit. Now after
Notice he doesn't use his hips to add to the punch.
Come back over here and separate again. And then he does like a face grab as he comes down and drops him down to the ground. So, once again, let's see how the technique works. 1,
Notice he snatches the arm out of the air.
4. A lot of work for one punch. Like for one drunken punch.
Drunken? Why do you
Why
gotta
is
insult
that so
him?
complicated? To my number one critic, why is this move so complicated? It seems to be complicated to me.
Do you not have this move? It could just be a punch to the back of the head. Here's me doing the demo. Someone's punching you in the face. We'll go over the timing a little bit later. And you've got to reach out and intercept that punch before you do any moves. This is your classic move. Everybody, oh, he gave me the wrong punch. Let's try it again. The classic move where you pull the arm. All right. Biu Gee. Everyone knows that, yep. So you could do it on the inside of the arm, right? Most people like to do it on the outside of the arm. Are you saying you don't have that move in your Wing Chun? It's too complicated? You could step forward and turn with a side lean step. I guess your Wing Chun doesn't have side lean step. And you could come back over the top, inside, outside. A few more hooks. So that's obviously a Chum Kiu answer. Oh, he gave me the wrong punch again. It's worse for them. But if they got a good punch that catches your punch, here we are. Now, if I run into the arm, my next move has got to be to come around the other side. All right, that has a root move in the Chum Kiu, has a root move in freeing arm. Now, add some more hooks, and these come from the Lansao with turn. Now, we turn from one hip over to the other hip. These other guys don't turn. They have an axis in the center of their body. Now, if you put a fist on the end of your Lansao, we call it land with fist. So you could do these Lansao hooking punches, right? I know you guys like the pointy fingers, so you could keep the fingers open, and you could have arthritis when you grow up from smashing your fingers into things. All right, so I guess those are too complicated, and he doesn't have them in his Wing Chun because he couldn't figure it out. All right, open the hand back up. So now it's an open hand, just like Lansao. All right, now here we have the returning maneuver from the double Faxaos of Sunim Tao. I know most WC people don't have a combat move for the returning. Now, if they bend over a little bit, it's easier to get the back of their head. And if you come in here and you hit them and you push them down, and I'm not doing the legs, but if you kick out their leg, they're going to be a little lower. And that's where you can do that elbow strike. So in the demo, the partner stays standing up, but in application and in some of the other drills, the person could be pushed over backwards with a chin move or pulled down and you elbow them in the back. Now the double Faxao is also a neck crank. And you could hold their head and spin their chin. You could hold their shoulder. Cross-face choke. So you could do it out far away for safety. I know you guys like the pointy fingers. But you could also use it as a pull into the lower arm. So I'm not going to crank his neck. He's my friend. But you could hook up under the chin. You could hook up behind the head and do some more of those Chum Kiu lifting punches. What, you guys don't have that? Too complicated? You must have a simple Wing Chun from the kids' classes Yip Man taught. This is closed door secrets, I guess, since he couldn't figure it out because it was too complicated. All right, so if you bend the person down, you can hit him in the back. That's actually in one of the other drills that go with this drill that he is being critical of. You can start with the fax out right away and do the elbow strike on the front. Now here's his version of it, out on the arm. It's pretty cool. I mean, I like it. He doesn't move his hips very much. He snatches it out of the air, and that's a fine move. He goes into his front stance. That's how a lot of people do stuff. One hit winners. You need that flow. There's no one hit winners. You need to have complex muscle memories.
This is part of performance enhancement where you run a series of moves in your muscle memory. So in our particular video that we're talking about, when I do this first move, that might finish it, right? I might grab his head from over here, over the idea, and bend him over into an arm lock. I got his arm, and I might just be counting on him like this, and do that, right?
All linked together. I guess that's too complicated. If someone grabbed his arm, he would get stuck in there because pulling his arm back around is too complicated.
The flow is a set of moves that we want in the muscle memory. And we do it like you guys do it, where you guys move like go way out here.
Distance is fine. It's safe.
Right?
Still got to be what you do up close.
All the moves out here on his wrist.
It translates to wrist locks even. Not great for this particular one.
Or I could go a little deeper. I could go on his elbow.
And shoulder locks. Vine disarm.
And this time is his elbow. Right? Those are all the same moves. So we'll go back to our initial one. We're working on this one first, and then go for the rest of the. We didn't bend over, but I still want this in my muscle. Doesn't have to be exact.
Calling it a drunken punch. That's insulting. Everybody does a nice, safe, straight punch like that. Now in Lossa Screma, we do the same thing. We deal with a real hit with our Lossa sticks. These are padded. And then the other person covers or holds still while we aim a bunch of cuts and hits on the target. A real hit, and then you follow through so that you have flow in your muscles, not one hit wonders. And I'm going to go through some moves that are very similar to the set we're doing in this particular video. Grabbing the head, pulling and hitting with the double fax out move, hitting him in the back, pushing him over. So we call this redundancy, the same set of moves. And in this drill set that this particular exercise Sifu Emin is doing, the set it comes from, has these same moves in a different order, in a different one of the 30 drill moves. All right, so my critic snatched the punch out of the air because he can always guess exactly where punches are going. He would never get faked out. But in WT, we have a universal starting point, a punch and kick, and all of our basic stuff begins with this idea that whatever punch comes, we're sending our punch or our finger pokes out. So they're going to interact with his jab, and we take the kick out for safety, but there's going to be a bit of a thigh kick to bend them over into our first punch. Now, it's hard to get that punch underneath. It is. And so typically it's going to go around behind, right? You run into the arm, so you got to come up. And of course, we like the one on the outside of the arm, right? Do packs out.
Why is that so complicated? To my number one critic, why is this move
so complicated. It seemed too complicated to me. All right. Yeah. So which type of jab would this work on? Now, in action, I usually am ahead of them. So I'm trying to get Isaiah to do what I want here. I probably have already done my initial move, and then the jabber is still trying to do that jab that they sent out before they knew what was going on. So we are making a reaction at the end of this for this to work perfectly. We feel it and we followed it, and they have not retracted their arm quick like Isaiah does there. So when they do those quick jabs, then we're just going to stick right where they pulled it back to. But if it's timed on a giveaway punch, then we got that open space right there. And with practice, you can get them to give away a punch. Now, if he catches my arm, I guess it's too complicated to pull your arm out and hit him. I guess. You guys don't have freeing arm at the end of Sunum Tao? And the more complicated version of freeing arm?
Practice the more common one because it's more common to have it on the outside in some way. And then what I don't get is why you think it's complicated to reach up and grab the net.
Wooden dummy.
Reach out from the outside. I go like this, and then I grab here.
And in wooden dummy, you then thread your arm from high to low around the dummy arm to the other side.
If I do this here, pop and over, it is not very far for my hand to move across his face. Turn sideways, right? So when I'm here, it's very easy to go across his face and grab his forehead. Anytime there's another hand coming in, it's going to interact with my stuff as opposed to this side. His hand is coming in.
Showing how we also deal with a second punch. Now, here's just some freestyle, hard chi sao. Some people call it sparring, but we don't use that word. And I'm going to try to do the lifting punches from the inside and the outside. So is Isaiah. And I'm going to try to do the hooking punch, the pull, the Faxal roots. I'm not going to point them out. I mean, Wing Chun is for smart people, so WT Wing Chun is for smart people, I should say. Either you see it or you don't. You know, I could lead a horse to water, but if I hold their head in the water, they start choking and get mad at me. And I got a lot of stuff wrong. I will admit it. I'm not perfect. I'm the bottom of the barrel. I'm the lowest skill level Sifu in the organization. The lowest. So if you're better than me, great. Are you better than the hundreds of other WT Sifus? It's not a contest of skill, but I noticed my critic didn't post any chi sao to go with his demo. His front stance, no hip turning, finger pokey demo. All right. Isaiah's cooperating here. I kind of say it in a second. You'll see me mouth it out. He's getting a little tired. He works all night and then comes to class on Saturday. And he got one on me right there, you'll notice. But he cooperates a little bit here at the end to let me get stuff. And there's I'm mentioning it. But you should know, he does not let me do what I want. When I try to do stuff, he does not let me do it. He gets in my way as best as he can, because we're trained from the bullshito.net school of thought We don't want people saying, oh, your demo partner let you do it. So this is our practice. And it's just him and me. And I turned the sound off because the Muay Thai was doing a private lesson on some kick pads. It was really loud. And we got the fans running, which you could hear in a few of these where I did play my own voice. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I can get to that 1,000 subscribers. And it helps the algorithm. I can't get money or revenue without 1,000 subscribers. So help me out there so I can make 50 cents a month.